guys, and welcome to my 31-week bump date. I'm currently 32 and a half weeks along, so I'm gonna do obviously my 31-week bump date now. I am sorry that this post is getting out so late in the week. Week 31 was really crazy for us. Just a lot of stuff was going on with me, with the baby, with my family, and I just never really had time to sit down and film. I did update my blog every day, or just about every day, so if you want to read about anything that happened, feel free to check it out. The link is down below. So as far as week 31 went, I had, starting on Monday, so it was actually 30 weeks and 6 days, I started having some pretty bad contractions that were pretty consistently 15 to 20 minutes apart, and they lasted all day long. They never went away, and it hurt worse when I walked. Like, walking was making them worse. Laying down wasn't helping. Pretty much nothing was helping. I decided not to go in because I just felt like they were going to send me right back home. It wasn't anything major. So we didn't really do anything. Ouch. And then, so Tuesday was fine. I was just contracting. Wednesday was fine. Same thing. Thursday I had my 31-week appointment with the OB clinic, and I was telling them, kind of some of my symptoms that I had been having, which were the contractions, and I also was getting this weird feeling like there was a rock or something in my vagina. It hurt really bad, and it would happen when I was having contractions. It would be really painful, and the lightning crotch was coming, and just so much kind of just stuff was happening. And so they started doing the measurements and whatnot, and I had a contraction while she was trying to measure my fundal height, and so she said that she thinks that I was in preterm labor and that I needed to head over to labor and delivery. So of course I kind of freaked out because I had I was at the doctor's by myself because my mom that morning had had an injection in her back. So I was trying to hurry with my appointment, and here they are telling me, you need to go to labor and delivery. So they called down to labor and delivery, and thankfully labor and delivery was actually completely full of women, like, ready to give birth. And so they decided just to do a couple tests in the office. So what they did was they first measured, they did a internal exam. My cervix was closed. It is not effaced or anything, and she said it still felt pretty long. So they went ahead and did an ultrasound, and my cervix is measuring 3.5, well, it was measuring 4 centimeters long, not dilated, but actually, like, long. And so they sent me home. They said that I was having preterm contractions for sure, but I'm not in labor at this point in time. So we just kind of are, went with the flow, and we're just hanging out and stuff. So they did measure the baby. His heart rate, they said, is about 140, and the lady that measured me said that my fundal height was measuring at 31 centimeters, which is right on where it should have been. I don't necessarily trust her measurement at all, especially considering 2 weeks before that I was only measuring 26 centimeters, and they had several different people check it to confirm that. But whatever, is what it is, right? The baby is still transverse, And so when I was in my appointment, I actually spoke to him about that because obviously you cannot actually vaginally deliver a transverse baby. So the doctor had said if he was transverse and I was in labor, they would be doing an emergency C-section. And I said, okay, what if I'm not in labor and he's still transverse? And then when did we start to worry about that? And she said that at my 35-week appointment, which is 3 weeks away from now, that they would check. If he's still transverse then they would like to try to do an external version where they go in and manually flip the baby. And they would do that at 30... I don't remember when she said. She might have said 35 weeks, but either way, whatever. And then she said that we would, if he doesn't flip then, or if he goes back, then they would be doing a C-section between 37 and 38 weeks, just to prevent me from going into labor on my own and risking several things with that. So I am going to do a separate video kind of detailing all of our options that we do have at the moment, just because it's so much and I don't want to overwhelm everybody in my update. But so at this point he is transverse. I cannot do any of the moves on spinning babies because of the fracture in my back. So if he's going to flip, he just needs to do it on his own. But he is in a very awkward position, and pretty much nobody has any faith that he will actually be able to flip on his own, which is fine. If he needs to come out via C-section, I would rather him lay there sideways and be perfectly happy with what he's doing than try and move him or change him or cause something else to happen. As far as other symptoms, I did have major heartburn kind of coming. I'm still puking. I'm still nauseous. Strangely enough, my hunger is like gone. I am not hungry at all ever. And it's weird because I know I need to eat. You know, this little guy is supposed to be getting bigger. But I just really am not hungry at all. As far as weight, when I weighed in, I was at 133 pounds, which is 29 or 30 pounds overall that I've gained. But the good news is that my waist has gone up an inch, so now I'm measuring at 41 inches. From weeks 26 to 30, or 25 to 30, I was only measuring 39 3/4 to 40 inches around. So my stomach has, you know, finally started growing from its kind of lag, I guess. So other than that, the baby is moving like crazy. I feel him pretty much everywhere. But I do know still that his head is on the left and his legs are on the right. I get a lot of times, and I'll kind of show you, his knees move up here and his bum is way down here, so I can feel like it, you know, his leg will come up and around like this, and then his feet will move way down in here. It feels so weird. And then his head is up under here, like right here. Ouch. And so I'll get kind of head knocks here, and then his hands will move like right here where his face is at. So I feel movement everywhere at this point in time, and it's just great. So I'm going to really quickly give you a real quick sneak peek at my 31-ish bump, and then I will talk to you guys in my next video in a couple days. So let's see. So here's my bump with my shirt on. I actually have two shirts on. Here I look from the front and the side. And then if I lift all this up here, see, you can see his extremity is out here. So I'm looking pretty big. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.